Hello, my name is David Youngren. I've written a new book called Awakening to I Am Love, how finding your true self transforms your well-being, relationships, and what you do. And the primary reason I wrote the book is to help my readers live a happy, fulfilled, and purposeful life. Now, I think most of us would think that there are many times in our lives when we feel happy. We're happy and content, we feel a sense of satisfaction. But then there are also moments when we struggle with anxiety, with fear, with stress, with insecurities, and all kinds of debilitating emotions. We may even struggle with depression and addictions. And we begin to look for solutions. We want to be free. We want to be free of these toxic emotions, these toxic thoughts that we cannot somehow or another escape. And so we may turn to, we may go to a psychiatrist or therapist, or we may find some self-improvement techniques, or we may turn to faith looking for answers. And many times it works, but often it only works for a period of time, and then we fall back into the same patterns over and over again, and we're left to wonder, how can I be free? How can I live a purposeful, a fulfilled, and happy life? And I would suggest, as I make the case in this book, that the reason that we struggle in our lives is because of our identity, our subconscious identity. Now, as you know, we have a conscious identity, and that conscious identity is that, whether maybe you're male or female, or you're born in a certain country, you have a first name and a last name, you belong to a certain religion or a certain political party. You may be a fan of a sports team, or it may be something maybe more negative. You may feel like, okay, I'm sick, I'm this, I'm poor, or something of that nature that could also define you. But then we have a subconscious narrative or subconscious feeling about ourselves as well, or subconscious identity, I should say. And the subconscious identity was formed at an early age. It probably began as soon as you were born. And experiences and traumas and different things took place, and it varies for all of us, and it formed our inner sense of self, our subconscious sense of self, that now has created and left us, as I make the case in the book, has left us with this inner feeling that I am not enough the way I am. And because we have this inner feeling of not enough the way I am, it gave birth to this false self. We can also call it the ego, a subconscious identity within us that is always struggling to become something. You want to become something in order to prove that you're worthy to be accepted and loved and approved. So we create this false persona, and because we never quite feel like we ever live up to what we perceive as the ultimate good, it creates unhappiness in our lives. It creates unfulfillment in our lives. So only when we do really good, we have moments of feeling happy, but then we fall back again when the excitement of the moment disappears. And so how do we then learn to live a happy life that is not dependent upon circumstances? It's not dependent upon what happens from the outside. Well, it's rooted in having a transformation of your identity, where you are, this subconscious narrative of the ego is replaced with a new way of life that is based on love, unconditional love. And that's what we talk about, the awakening to one type of life and dying to another type of life. Now, some of you who come from the Christian tradition like myself, we see this in the death and the resurrection, that, we even see this, and Paul said this, for those who know a little bit about the Bible. He said, I've been crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I. And so it's kind of confusing when you actually hear that, but what if you read the original text, what he was saying was that the ego has died, but now a new kind of life has arisen. And this is what I'm talking about when I refer to the awakening to a new identity within you. And that identity is rooted in love, is rooted in oneness, it's rooted in something that is beyond your mind, your intellect, where you begin to die to all the things that you thought you were, and now arise to a new type of understanding that is based on something that is much bigger than ourselves, much bigger than me. And that ultimately leads to a sense of fulfillment and happiness in your life. So this is what I've written in this book. I personally experienced moments of incredible fulfillment because I have become aware of a presence of love within me. And I like to share this with you. So if you would go right now, you can go and order this book, Barnes & Noble. If you want to get the hardcover book, you can order at the Barnes & Noble. But you can also go to Amazon and get the ebook and the paperback book, and you can go to a number of different sites and you can order the book right now. So I really encourage you to do that. I know it's going to benefit your life, and then share it with your friends. Anyhow, let me know. I would love to hear from you how this book impacts you. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me today.